Greetings, geeks, and welcome to episode 433 of Geeks in Space. I'm Rob Commander Taco Malda, and joining me today in low Earth orbit are two of the finest geeks you're ever going to meet. I've got myself a Chris DeBona.
I'd like to go second. I think that Rob always goes second, so he should go first.
All right, Rob Roseboom.
Thank you very much, Chris. Hello, everybody.
All right, now, Chris, do you want to say something?
Hi, everybody. It's really great to be here, and especially to be here with Rob Roseboom.
Yeah.
One of the finest geeks you're ever going to meet.
Right?
All right, guys. My exciting breakthrough news of the day is that I have 5 pounds of espresso beans that arrived via U.S. Postal Service today. I ordered them supporting my local roaster and felt just horrible because that means my local roaster is at work.
Okay, so it's a local provider of coffee beans from Costa Rica, or tell us more. I mean, welcome to Coffee News with Rob, and Chris.
Welcome to Coffee Talk.
Coffee Talk.
I didn't know that we had a local.
I was pretty thrilled just because I was drinking the 8 o'clock for the last few days, and having my actual coffee beans again does make me feel human. I'm doing nothing but grasping at anything that makes the world feel normal.
So one of the things we were talking about before we started the stream was we should talk about any sickness other than COVID-19. Like what's your favorite globe-spanning pandemic?
Ooh, all right.
Historically, or in fiction even. Because we talk about science fiction a lot. Maybe we should talk about our favorite movie diseases.
Well, okay. Here's the idea. Let's get a list of contagion plague type movies, and then watch them for a couple of days, and then come back and rank them.
Okay. What should we watch first?
Have you seen the original Andromeda Strain?
Oh yeah, it's a good one.
That's a good one.
That thing's practically written in my DNA. It's one of my old favorites.
I don't know if I've ever
revisit that.
But my childhood book reading is very much informed by the paperbacks that my dad would leave in the bathroom next to the toilet, and it was always whatever the latest Tom Clancy book was, and the Andromeda Strain.
Clive Cussler.
Yep.
My uncle was a huge Clancy Cussler addict. So, and so of course I read them when I was staying at his place. But I remember I was reading like a Dirk Pitt novel, Dirk Pitt's Dirk Pitt, and he had Clive Cussler in the novel as a character, and I'm like, I'm out. That's it.
Too meta.
I'm done. It's not even worth it anymore.
So you're the guy that didn't really like it when Stephen King shows up in It?
No, that's different. That's just a cameo. That's like Stan Lee, and that's okay.
It's like Alfred Hitchcock.
But like if he was in the book It, and then I was in New Hampshire and I came across a writer, he was drunk, so I hit him on the side of the road, that would be different. Right? And then he's a character for 14 pages or whatever. So.
Yeah. I got bad news.
So are we including movies where the pandemic creates zombies?
That's the question, right?
Because I think there's lots of those, right?
Yeah, all zombie movies are, even 28 days later.
Daisy, 28 days later, they're all out. We're talking just strictly a disease that kills you.
Well, what if the rule is
outbreak, hot zone?
What if the virus rule is that you have to say, like, if the movie claims
warning sign
that that a virus causes it? Because like I'm not sure that Shaun of the Dead is making a thing about it being a virus, but 27 days later is absolutely they're talking about the virus, or World War Z.
I don't know. I think that World War Z is just on the border because I really like that has Peter Capaldi in it as the British doctor dude.
Sure.
And it's got it's an okay movie, but it's still too zombie. It's a zombie movie.
So, so what about things with
I Am Legend,
like The Stand?
Oh,
The stand, there's no zombies, but there are supernatural aspects to it.
So I think that the stand should qualify because it is such. Well, one, my sister, who actually died in real life when she was 33, some 20 years ago, almost now. No, 18 years ago. She was a dead body in the stand because they filmed it at the University of Utah. So I always try to find her, when I watch the stand. And I know that's a bittersweet sort of thing, but she would have loved that, right? So so I think the stand can stand because it is, Captain Trips is absolutely a supernatural plague, but everyone who gets it and dies from it doesn't come back, right? I mean, some people have like sniffles and aren't doing well. Like Molly Ringwald's character didn't do so hot, but then she was okay, right? Because don't people have a cold and then survive it in the beginning?
Some people do, but the disease, the Trips was a military plague.
That's right. Don't fear the Reaper.
Right.
I want to rewatch 12 Monkeys.
Yeah, speaking of 12 Monkeys, what about Planet of the Apes?
Ooh.
The new ones, because that is
I think they're fantastic. They are, and it creates super intelligent monkeys. I think the first one would qualify. The rest are just it's monkey movie time. Right.
How about Omega Man?
Nope. Zombies. And I know
just
that
trying
we're
to lay
the
groundwork there.
Yeah.
I know we're the bad guys in that one, or because we are legend or whatever. But yeah. If there's a zombie component, no.
There's Contagion. There's the Crazies, which is not really zombie-ish. It just makes people go crazy and super violent. Outbreak.
Warning Sign is one of my favorites. Also filmed in Utah, and it was a whole story really about the Dugway Proving Grounds if something gets out. So I really like that one. And even though, rewatching it, it's not great. And it has a slight zombie component, but it's really rage, and then they die. Right. So it's not like they're not undead. They can't feed on each other. They just hate each other.
I've never seen the Crazies.
Me either. What is it?
It's not half. I mean, if you like horror movies, it's not too bad. It's basically the story of the small town where a percentage of the population just becomes extremely violent and murderous, and it turns out it's part of a sort of a government test of some sort of nerve agent that causes you to become homicidal.
Cool. I that's kind of more of the army's experimenting on a small town, but Andromeda Strain was kind of that, even though the infection was from space, right? So I'm cautiously okay with the Crazies.
I just found a list of like classic movies about pandemics. Like I haven't heard of any of these. They're like the 30s and the 40s.
Isn't On the Beach a The World Is Dead movie?
I haven't seen. That's not on this list, but
that's also by Alex Garland. If I remember. Well, I'm sorry. This is the Neville Shute novel. Post-apocalyptic science fiction. Blah, 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 blah. After World War II, Australia is the only remaining haven for mankind. So that's that nuclear fallout. So never mind.
What's the one you have to have seen that? It's in Australia. A dude is the last man alive, and it's not particularly explained, and he's like wandering around and going crazy.
Oh, that's The Quiet Earth.
Is that the one? That's so good.
Quiet Earth. It's so good, and it's New Zealand. I mean, I have to correct you. It's New Zealand, and it's remarkable. Honestly, I saw that movie. It was on Cinemax, which was not Cinemax, no, Select TV, which was like this AB cable system in Salt Lake City when I was a boy. And I saw that movie and I fell in love with New Zealand because of it. I was like, wow, this is so cool. But that's not a Contagion, though.
Right. I was trying to remember what the reason was.
Sadly, the best way to describe what happened is by referring to Highlander 2.
Oh, no.
Yeah, remember in Highlander 2, they broke the sky because they were trying to transmit energy over the sky, and instead they darkened the planet. It's a shame how much I know about this. But in the Quiet Earth, they had a similar wireless power system. And when they did it, it, quote, changed the base charge of the electron. And so it killed everybody except for the people who died right at that moment. So there's like a few people left, but there's no zombies. But the people who are left, like in all good zombie movies, are the worst part. Zombies you can pop in the head, right? People are the real problem.
You know what I watched?
They're true Walking Dead. Yeah.
I watched last night, not quite a Contagion movie, but I watched for the first time in my life Blade 2.
Blade 2.
It's awesome.
Is that the one with the vampires who eat other vampires?
Yeah, and the like faces open up.
Yep.
It's Guillermo del Toro, and I have never seen it.
Huh.
I think that is my favorite of the Blades, to tell you the truth.
Actually, I like the first one more. The third one way less, even though it has Ryan Reynolds in it, and what's her name, the weirdo anti-vaxxer girl. So I can't do it though. I can't Blade to it, man.
I'll tell you, man, it's great. I was surprised at how great it is. And it was exactly what I needed last night.
Well, that's okay then.
I think I actually tweeted this. Last night, my choice for movie watching was Blade 2 and Moonrise Kingdom. I was like, there's nobody, at no point in history has anybody ever put those two movies in the same sentence. Yeah. And they're like, it's one of these two tonight.
An unlikely double feature for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
I think the weirdest double feature that I ever ended up seeing was at the drive-thru. We used to go there and we watched, I think, Finding Dory maybe, and then drove to one of the other screens to watch Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
I heard that was pretty good though. I have it on a certain machine. I could watch that.
It's okay.
But it's not a Contagion movie,
No. There's another one called The Black Death with the guy who played Ned Stark in Game of Thrones.
Oh, so he dies.
That's pretty good.
Does he totally die?
Oh, he totally dies, yeah.
Oh, Rick and Morty is back on May 3.
I saw that.
I don't know what that is.
You don't know what Rick and Morty is?
After April.
No, I can't conceive of May.
I'll give you a hint. It's going to look exactly like April and exactly like March because you're going to be in your house.
No, don't say that.
My background. Oh no, Roseboom, you should be praying that you get to stay in your house.
Don't.
That's when the zombies will rise up and end us all.
It's so true. Let's see. I had there was one thing hospitals are chewing out their doctors now and threatening to fire them if they talk about not having safety gear. So that's pretty sweet.
Classy.
Right? So at least we can be pleased to know that China's covering up their numbers, but we're covering up ours too.
Yeah, no, I saw another thing where it was if you do a interview with the press, some hospital system wants you to just go home. And I'm like, nice try there, buddy.
Yesterday they were showing they have refrigerated trailers that they are putting bodies in now because they've run out of morgue space.
Yep.
Always a good sign.
Yep. And then some guy posted a video of them carrying out bodies on a forklift to put them up in the trailer. He was absolutely.
Was this in Michigan or New York? Or was this?
New York. New York.
Of course.
We got 2-3 days before we catch up to New York, man.
Yeah.
That's grim.
Once again, Michigan, we're still like number 40 in testing and number 3 in cases.
Well,
I know we're not doing great for testing in California, but we were serious about shelter in place and will be through May 3rd minimum.
Yeah.
So
if that woman governor of ours would stop talking about facts on the news,
that's right,
asking for stuff.
Did you see what she did for an April Fool's Day joke?
Yeah, she wore the shirt. That woman from Michigan.
Oh no, she actually did a thing. She's like, if you want to punk your kids, you can show them this, and then told the kids that they had to do over school next year. And then it was just like, I'm just kidding. But like,
That's
so it was classy. Like, let the parent decide if your kid can handle it.
that explains it
incredible.
because someone had posted in my little town's Facebook forum that she had told people that, or she had decided that everyone had to redo the school year, and people were absolutely flipping out about it. So I guess that explains it.
Well, it's funny, a lot of colleges have been saying that a lot, at least one or two have been saying they don't give a crap about the last year's grades or the SAT scores, which is amazing.
Yeah.
It's really something.
Let's see. Yeah. Oh, so yesterday, the April Fool's Day stuff, a couple of people forwarded me the "Oh my God, ponies" April Fool's Day thing. And my comment, which I'll just throw down here because it just tickles me, that was probably my favorite thing. I believe at the time my wife was actually pregnant, but she is the one that came up with the term OMG ponies. It was making fun of a friend of ours who I will not mention, who once wanted to purchase a house with a barn because she wanted to have a house with horses. And the joke for in our house for years was every girl wants a pony, even though she was an adult girl. But the thing that I had totally forgotten about that is that that same day is the day that it was like Bates's birthday is a couple of days before April 1st. And so I actually posted for everybody to email him a happy birthday. And he replied to 14,000 people saying happy birthday.
Wow. That's something, isn't it?
I'm a horrible human.
You're not a good person.
No.
Record.
No, I'm well aware of my flaws.
That's really funny.
Let's see. Do we have any joy? Does anybody have a happy story?
The
Nope.
the largest maker of toilet paper in the United States has said that they've ramped up production, and soon the toilet paper shall roll across the country, and there won't be shortages anymore. So there's that, right?
Yeah, but they're going to have an
We're going 5-ply.
7-ply.
They've the number was crazy. It was something like $1.3 billion spent on toilet paper since March. Just a really nuts number.
Bates literally just replied to you.
Yeah, I just retweeted that
28 minutes ago.
That's why I was reminded of that.
Why isn't he on the call?
Because he has a job.
I do too.
Yeah, but you're really important, so you just make other people wait.
I am not important. I'm just this guy, man.
Let's see. There's I was actually pretty thrilled that they're finally shutting Florida down. I have family in Florida. But
wait,
of course,
they're just now doing it.
Oh no, they're shutting it down tomorrow. They decided yesterday to give everybody an extra 48 hours to prepare.
Boy, that's dumb. I'm just picturing like the run at the Piggly Wiggly, like all these old people like, hey, get out of the way. I have to get my Dr. Bronner's blah, blah, or whatever. It's been a long time since I've been with old people in Florida. So
it's true.
So they shut down a pretty popular fishing spot up here
for COVID
called Tippy Dam because too many people were there fishing too close together recently, and now I guess the DNR is actually going through a lot of these parks and making sure people stay 6 feet apart, and they're threatening to shut down some of these places if people don't start following the rules and guidelines.
Well, Rob, your boat, the shits and giggles. I think if you sat on one end and I sat on the other, we could maintain a 6-foot social distance.
Oh, it's fine. It's 20 feet long, so 3 of us can sit on it.
Excellent.
Classy.
We'll wear our masks.
Yeah, I'm actually wondering if that's all going to happen at the same time this year.
Oh, I don't see how it could.
Well, I sent him the money, so
oh, great.
I'm hoping it happens, and we'll just have to clear everyone else off the dock once we show up or something. I don't know.
Somebody did release. They doctored the Cats trailer to make a Butthole Cut.
Yeah, I saw that. So
it's exactly as dumb as you want it to be.
Is this on the YouTubes? Tell me
It's all over. It's on Reddit. It's on the intertubes. Well, that was. It's
just
not.
Just remember to type in cats before you type in butthole cut when you search for it.
You don't want to get in the other list.
No,
your ad targeting gets all whacked out.
Yeah. The ads on your Facebook page will start getting really weird.
So I don't know if so I stopped using Facebook like years ago. And in this thing, like basically when I left the post, I stopped using Facebook. And with all this thing, I've actually been using it again because it's the only way to get in contact with a few of my family members. And I don't know if it's because I have a pie hole running or if it's because Facebook has realized, hey, maybe I should chill out with serving this guy ads because he hasn't used our platform in 3 years. But I'm not seeing any ads on Facebook right now, which is kind of great. It's almost a usable platform.
I'm sorry, this trailer is just ridiculous.
It's great, right?
It's very silly. I can't watch this. Sorry. Hi, everybody. How you doing? I totally didn't pay attention to the last minute because cats.
Well, I mean, buttholes, man.
It's so weird.
Now I have to put butthole cats in the notes for the day.
Sorry.
Butthole cats.
Oh my gosh. The jobless claims are through the roof, dude.
Yeah. 6 million.
6.6 million claims were filed last week, and the week before was 3.3 million.
Yeah.
So what are we at? So that takes us to 10% unemployment. What does that take us to?
I mean, all those numbers are BS anyway, so it's hard to measure, right? I mean, they don't count you if you didn't try to get a job that week. It's so dumb.
And like if you're in prison, they don't count you. I'm like, that's another 3 million people. But
I'll tell you who is hiring though. Unemployment claims people. You can get a job doing that. Like
industry.
Crazy. They're putting out ads
you're
everywhere.
Good at Excel.
Also, if you want to work at a pharmacy, they're hiring like crazy around here, at least.
Yeah. You can be a forklift loader, a distributor for the pharmacy.
You can also work for Amazon. They're striking, so they're going to be hiring a whole new batch of employees in the next.
Yeah, I heard they were going to strike in one of their warehouses in New York. Did that actually happen?
Yeah, there were some people that got fired apparently.
Yeah, some guy got fired, but apparently he was also sick, or there's some there's so many dumb things.
Chris, let's be realistic. When an employee protests against their employer, the employer always has an excuse for why that employee deserved to be fired. And for some reason, it never has anything to do with the protest.
Well, no, of course
not. Awkward pausing.
Yeah.
I want to learn how to solder. My soldering skills are butt, and I'm thinking about making my own mechanical keyboard. So that's been my current research project to try to get, because I've read a couple of different things where it's actually a really ideal soldering practice project because you have to solder every key. So there's lots and lots of little solder points. So
when you wave solder a keyboard, you wouldn't bother like individually soldering.
You can get
impractical, Rob Malda. Your organic artisanal soldering project, I reject.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. Organic.
Make sure you use lead solder. It's the best.
Oh, that stuff, man. Sweet. I actually was in my shop again last night, and I realized that I don't have any masks anymore down there for some weird reason. And so I'm like, realized I just sanded a ton of wood and just like, I just probably inhaled all of that dust because I brought all of my masks upstairs for, when because you're not supposed to wear your mask outside. Of course, the CDC is clearly telling you the right facts here. Have you ever noticed how no matter what you think about, it just goes back to this?
Which are you gonna project something? Or?
You mean the pandemic? The end of the world?
The pandemic. I see.
No, as far as my keyboard goes, I have been trying to find a set of keycaps that is the /teal. I've been trying to find a set. Like I can find a bunch of them that are vaguely similar colors, but I've yet to find a set of keycaps that's that color because I want to do a keyboard that's with that color palette because you know that's like my favorite color palette, and it was before that stupid website. And I would like to make a keyboard out of it. I also want a keyboard where all the alpha keys are unlabeled, but just like transparent so they can like light up LEDs through them, but have no labels on them. So I want to do something super tweaked and custom, man.
Okay, well, if you go to keyboard.io, you know, they sell switches.
They sell all that stuff.
And so you can customize your keyboard, but I don't know if these are the same ones you would solder yourself. And they have blank keycaps, which you could put in a jig and mount in a laser cutter and burn away enough of the plastic to be see-through.
Yeah,
so you could go that way. You could.
I actually really like Keyboardio, just because like I subscribed to their mailing list years and years and years ago, and it was just so fun watching all of the shenanigans that they went through trying to get their Kickstarter built. Like they had every problem you could imagine, like questionable suppliers and like like that right there was the lesson for me in why I will never, ever, ever build hardware.
Well, you know, so I know Jesse. He's a really good guy. And I think that when he finally just gave in and basically moved to Shenzhen is when it really turned around. But yeah, I love the hardware world of China, man. It's incredible. I mean, it's so neat. I got to meet and visit like, you know, injection molding shops and, you know, assembly plants and plastic plants and cardboard box factories, which if you know me is just like my dream, you know, to just visit a cardboard box factory.
Oh yeah, you know how to party.
It was so cool. So yeah. And like for the next, like, I don't know, 6 months, we would be walking through a store and be like, oh, I know where that was made. Oh, I know where that was made. I'm sure it was completely intolerable to all of my friends and my wife.
I mean, that's not new.
It's not new.
Yeah, I was like, how did you tell?
Because I was annoying myself, Rob.
Oh,
wow. Just muscle through, Chris. Eventually you come out on the other side, you end up with where I am, and then you just don't care anymore.
I don't care.
My house will pretty much at any given moment turn on an episode of How Did This Get Made and watch literally anything be manufactured.
Oh, I love that show so much. I've watched it every single one of them.
One of the greatest shows ever made.
It is. Can I tell you a secret? I go to sleep to it. Like there are certain ones that are so relaxing, like tire making ones. Oh man, like I'm never going to have to take Ambien ever. I just watch a tire making how it's made. I'm out. It's like flipping a switch.
Let's see. I actually recently found an animated GIF of a machine making ball bearings. And it was just the most glorious thing in the world, just like watching a chunk of metal get sliced off and then rolled through all of these machines as it gets rounder and rounder. And I was just like,
okay, let me find a tire video. We'll link to it in the description.
I have two favorites. They have one about this Japanese company that built a crab processing machine, which is fantastic.
Great.
And the other is also animal related. It is how they raise chicks.
Oh yeah.
Like the sorting method for baby chickens is wow.
The baby chicken one, I used to show it to my children when they were really small. They would ask for it, and I had voices that went along with it, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's just like a bunch of chickens going, hey, what's going on? Oh my gosh, hey, what are you doing, lady? You know, that kind of thing.
So Chris, I just searched for making ball bearings, and one of the first matches is a link to YouTube, and I moused over it, and it looks like, and I'm not going to watch it, but it starts off with the clip that I'm referring to where they're making the ball bearing, but you can see in the mouse over autoplay that it immediately cuts to 2 people making out in a car. So, bang up job.
Wait, what?
I'll send you the URL. It's clearly somebody is scamming the search algorithm or something somewhere.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Or
I just paid
they're
for a tire making video on the channel. So.
they are very enthusiastic about ball bearings.
Well, there's ball bearings, and then there's ball
bearings.
She's wearing a Hooters uniform, so I'm sure it's on the up and up.
Uniform? Does it really qualify as a uniform? I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it is, right?
It's totally.
But like a person who doffs her clothing for a living on a brass pole, would you consider those things a uniform if the point of the uniform is to take it off?
I think if you get paid to do it, it's a uniform. Otherwise, it's a costume, right?
Yeah, it's cosplay. It's just furries at that point.
All right. So is this cosplay or a uniform?
Cosplay or a uniform?
That's the age-old question.
There we go. That's the new website, cosplay or a uniform.
So discuss in the forums below. And we're at the 30-minute mark.
Well, I bet you if you typed in uniformed cosplay, you'd get like a whole bunch of yeah.
There you go.
Anime school uniform, Japanese school. Oh, right,
I won't lie. I subscribe to a significant number of cosplay-related websites. I find it both adorable, and some of it is just really like the people who make the armor and stuff. Like that's next level DIY. I love it.
Yeah, there's a gal online who makes armor, and she makes it for like game companies now because she's really good at it. You know, she's like scribing foam and
yeah, it's my same the same gene in me that will always watch any of those making of videos or where they show you how they make monsters or creature effects for like the show Face Off. I watched every episode of that.
Yep,
yeah, like a theme on the Tested channel is Adam's one day builds or whatever, where he just builds something from movies, and it's really cool.
So, I love that stuff so much. Yeah. We're at the 30-minute mark. Let's go be grown-ups for a little while today.
Yeah, go back to work.
I know.
Back to work, everybody. You don't want to be one of those 6 million.
That's right. You don't want to get in line like me. Folks, this has been episode 433 of Geeks in Space. I'd like to thank, we'll start with Chris DeBona this time.
Oh, right. Goodbye, everybody.
And then we'll let Rob Roseboom this time end with awesomeness.
I guess I'm an afterthought. Goodbye.
Dude, I can't win. I call you first. I call you second. All right, fine. I'm Rob Commander Taco Maldo. Stay safe, stay warm, stay healthy, stay clean. Wash your hands. Bye-bye.